Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to specially appreciate my father, the chairman of the group, His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enito. Kabiyesi. Please, can you appreciate him? Thank you. I also like to appreciate my mother, the royal mother, Yeye Oòduà, our double Erelu, my mentor, Dr. Erelu Abiola Dosunmu. God bless you, Mommy. Thank you so much for coming. I also like to appreciate all my royal fathers present here today and those that are still on the way. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the mentorship. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for the support. Without you, there's no NHF. Thank you for always being there for us. I also like to appreciate and honor a mentor in the industry, my father, the king of luxury himself, Sir Olubukola. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. He came very early. That was very good. Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to mention and appreciate the legal chief himself, our SAN, Chief Dr. Olubukola. Thank you so much. And Mrs., thank you for coming. The list is endless. So I'd like to just mention and appreciate all the VIPs here, special guests of honor, our speakers, our ambassadors present, partners of BSTAN Group, CEO, MD of Optiva, and every other beautiful, amazing people here today present at the first National Housefair Lagos edition, which is, of course, the 007 of NHF. I welcome you all to the 7th edition of the National Housefair and the first in Lagos, the largest city in Africa and perhaps the largest commercial city in the whole of West Africa, with an estimated population of 28 million and still counting, an annual population growth rate of about 8%, and a land mass of about 3,577 square kilometers. Lagos is renowned as the major commercial hub of Nigeria, with an estimated GDP of 26.587 trillion, according to the 2021 Lagos Bureau for Statistics, which accounts for about 10% of Nigeria's annual GDP as of today. Lagos is home for several startups, businesses, industries, including local and international firms, employing millions of individuals of low, medium, and high income of economic status. Solving the current housing deficit will require an effective and efficient leverage on public and private sector partnership, PPP. And is in line with this that we, the BSTAN Group, a conglomerate of about 9 different companies, which includes the homes and property, the construction company, the mines, the farms and agro-allied, the security services, the cleaning services, hospitality, our foundation, our media house, is holding the 7th edition of the NHF Fair here in Lagos State. Why property in a sachet? I'm sure a lot of us are wondering what the property in a sachet is all about. I'll give an analysis before I continue. Several people build in Lagos. There are thousands of development companies in Lagos and in Nigeria as a whole that build and sell both commercial and residential properties. From our statistics done in the last 5 years, we realized that over 80% of development countries build for a 20% Nigerian, upper class and middle upper class only. Because when you build a house of 70 million, 80 million, 100 million, you are not reaching out to 220 million Nigeria, obviously. You are possibly reaching out to the 20 million that is there, the on top. And the rest of Nigerians are homeless. We have over 40% homelessness in Nigeria as a whole, and still counting. Therefore, what is the solution to the housing deficit? How sure are we that we can actually solve this 25 million deficit, or 28 as the case might be? How sure are we to solve the problem, and what is the problem? What is the solution? 5-year statistics make us to understand that 70 to 80% Nigerians can only afford a project less than 30 million naira. And if they are going to be able to buy that property, they have to be given a long-term payment structure because of the state of the economy. Therefore, we came up with a concept called property in a sachet. It's a pocket-friendly and very flexible system for lands and home ownership. Just as we have small quantity of beverages packed in sachets to enable affordability for low to medium income earner, the same concept holds for property in a sachet today. There was a brand that sells milk. I'm not going to mention their name so we don't do adverts. There's a very popular brand. They sell milk. 2012, when they came into Nigeria or more, milk was meant to be for the rich. Not every Nigerian could drink tea then, because that particular brand is expensive. Therefore, leaving the rest of Nigerians not being able to buy that particular milk. Until a new brand came a few years after. The brand that came is known for affordable brands. And they came in a sachet. We all know them. And when they came, they started the business and they floored the other brand with over 46% sales, running in billions of naira in just 2 years. Because they came in a sachet, not because in a sachet, but they came very affordable in a smaller particle. Same thing applicable to when telecommunication came into Nigeria. The first brand with a yellow symbol came very expensive. Only few can afford the SIM card. Only few can afford buying phones then. Phones were luxury as at then. Not everybody could afford that. Another brand came, known with green. And they came in a smaller way, selling SIM very cheap, with an additional data, with free airtime. And that took over the business and broke that monopoly. Same thing applicable to bottled waters. This meeting today is to help us to have a mind shift in property development, in construction. If we are going to be doing housing, a lot of our colleagues are here. We can't solve housing deficit by building upscale, by selling upscale. Because you are not even reaching out to the volume. There's volume below. There are no volume up there. Bottled waters were not meant for everybody. Not everybody could buy water in a bottle. A new concept came, selling the same 50 ml that is supposed to be in a bottle in a sachet. 20 naira. So a bottle you're supposed to buy for 150 naira, you are buying for 20 naira, same water, treated water. And that flooded the market. Same is the dawn of property in a sachet. We, the BSTAN Group, is bringing property inside the sachet where every Nigerian can afford to buy property henceforth. We want to break the monopoly of luxury. We want to break the monopoly of luxury. We want to break the monopoly of selling properties upscale where not everybody can afford that. We are passionate about the country. We are passionate about this nation. Standard of living is quite too low. And that starts with having a good shelter. When you don't have a good shelter, then what do you expect? So how does it work? I'll tell us. PIS initiative emerges out of our 5 years expensive research into the standard of living, income statistic, mortgage investment scheme, as well as the housing subsectors in Nigeria and Africa at large. Essentially, PIS, that's property in a sachet, is a very flexible system of ownership such as the low to medium income segments of the population can pay small. Nigerians are already used to the PSS, pay small for everything. And this time around, we are bringing properties in a way where you can pay on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, and quarterly basis. For a property, either land, maybe you want to go into land banking, or houses, as the case might be. And this is accessible without any additional charges, no interest rate, or issues with securing a loan from the bank. PIS concepts, PIS purchase plan, our various projects have three different plans. There's a silver plan, there's a gold plan, and there's a diamond plan. Therefore, people are able to pay an initial deposit of 10% across all purchase plan, and you are doing a daily basis of 10,000 naira, 50,000, 20,000, or a weekly basis of 30,000, 60,000, or 120,000, or a monthly basis of 120,000, 240,000, or 480,000, as the case might be for any project you are buying. What are the reasons? What the key reasons for this, and why is it essential for Lagos, especially? Knowing the population of Lagos, knowing the problem of Lagos, it is a practical and a workable approach to tackling the existing housing deficit in Nigeria. Within 3 to 5 years, PIS initiative will reduce the housing deficit through the development of secured gated communities in different suburb areas by 40%. PIS will improve the standard of living in Nigeria, in Africa, Lagos especially. The establishment of PIS initiative across all our pilot locations in Nigeria and other developing nations, such as Ghana, Gambia, will greatly improve the standard of living of those nations and elevating the levels of poverty in those countries. PIS will address the current jackpot syndrome and brain drain in the country. With a high inflation and unemployment rate of about 33,000, there's a consistent migration of our human capital to other nations of the world, such as, of course, the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, and the rest of the developed nation. This has negatively impacted on several institutions and sectors of our economy, including the NMA. Thank God the medical associations are here, including the NBA. Thank God Chief is here. Banks. A lot of sectors are losing their best hands to the jackpot syndrome because there are no good standard of living. They don't have a home. When you have a home, it's difficult to pack up from there. When you have a home given to you by your organization or through your association, or you're able to buy and pay through PIS, it's difficult to start looking for another country to run into because you already have a base. When you have a home, you are solid, you are grounded. When you have a home, 50% of the family problem is solved. So shelter is life. If there's any sector that the Lagos State government, thank God that they've been doing so much already, or the federal government should really look into, is the housing sector, because it has a capacity of over 40% GDP increase for any state that is able to look into that. PIS will provide off-take guarantees for private partners, stakeholders, and investors. The more we have Nigerians with purchasing power, a means of livelihood, subscribe to PIS scheme, the more there are increase in the guaranteed off-take for housing development under our pilot locations. PIS has the potential to increase the current home ownership in Nigeria to over 70% in the next 5 to 10 years. The low to medium income earner, including the traders, businessmen and women, market women, youths, corpers, artisans, we make up the larger populations, that makes the larger populations of the, make the larger percentage of the populations are those that need to subscribe to PIS. PIS is not only for the civil servants or for NMA member, NMA, MBA, whatever association. It is not only for the professionals, but for everyone, both businessmen and women, because these people have a huge economic sector that most of the time they usually don't have access to loans. They don't have access to loans. They don't have access to mortgages, but they have huge economy base. If you go into Idumota every day, you'll be shocked at the volume that comes out from there. If you go into Balogun every day, you'll be shocked at the volumes that comes out of that place every day, because there's a huge trading system going on there. But yet they don't have access to mortgages or loan. PIS will solve the problem, because you are able to pay and subscribe to this project on a weekly basis or a daily basis. It's as good as buying a property using the Esusu system. And PIS is moving not just in Lagos State, but every other state in Nigeria such as in Abuja, where we have our base. We have over 14 ongoing projects in Abuja today, simultaneously going on. We are in Lagos today, in several locations that we'll mention. We are in Ibadan today. We are in Osogbo, Abeokuta, Ekiti, Port Harcourt, Asaba, and Akwa Ibom. The housing development project under this initiative will definitely be in partnership with Lagos State Government and, of course, the LSPDC that is already doing so much as an institution. And we have a project in different locations in Lagos for PIS, such as in Ibejuleki, Ekpe, Festa, Ikorodu, Badagry, Arepo, Imota, Mowe, Ojo, Agbegi, and Yanopaja. Now, you'll be wondering, why don't we have it in Ikoyi VI? You see, the population that make Lagos lives outside Lagos. They live in all the suburbs of Lagos. People live in Agege and comes to VI to the office every day. I remember when I was working in Lagos. And I was living in Pangrove then. And my office was in Adeola Odeko, VI. We wake up 4 a.m. because if you don't wake up 4 a.m., you can't meet the office time. We wake up 4 a.m., get to the office by 6, take a nap for 1 hour before you start work. We close for 6, you can't go home because of the traffic. So you are in the office, playing, doing all kinds till 9, then you go home, get to the house by 11. It's reducing the lifespan. It's stressful. And yet you are renting those houses. And these are, most of us sitting here today are going through same thing. If you are living in those environments and you own the home, it's a different ball game. When it's your house. So why, if you can live there, rent that place and still come to the office, why can't you own homes in those locations? Ibejuleki is developing so fast, Ekpe is developing so fast, Ikorodu is developing so fast. Most of these locations are really opening up because of the capacity and the work that the Lagos State Government is doing. We will have our PIS center installed in each of the 20 local government areas and across the 37 local government development areas in Lagos State. Every nook and cranny of Lagos State must have a PIS center starting from 10th of December. Every community and every local government area in Lagos State, we have this center. We are opening up 200 centers across all these communities in Lagos State, having a minimum of 10 PIS centers in each of these communities. The goal of the PIS community in each location is to decentralize the center in order to create livable and sustainable communities for an average Lagosian. However, in achieving this decentralization, there are gray areas identified by a survey of Lagosians who intend to live within our PIS community but have their place of work in the city center, particularly the issue with traffic congestion in Lagos. Then we came up with a concept that is really going to help the Lagosians and reduce the time you spend on the road. Maybe you are thinking, why do I have to live in Agege? Why do I have to live in Ikorodu? Why am I going to live in Ojota or Ibeju? How do I get to the office? Don't worry about that. There are several challenges and setbacks that the traffic gridlock has created for the average Lagosians, which for decades had negatively affected their lifestyle and productivity as well. A man that stays in the traffic for 4 hours before getting to the office, he needs 3 hours to cool down in the office. So therefore, the first 2-3 hours in the office, he's not getting any results. The urban center in Lagos is more like an ongoing construction site, with several projects being developed every day, creating heavy gridlocks. Some of the negative impacts is, 1, loss of time and reduced productivity, inability to meet up with the scheduled appointments. You have an appointment for 10 o'clock, you have to leave by 4 a.m. If not, you are not meeting up with that appointment. Then we came up with an idea, which we call the quick ferry. So for every PIS community, there are going to be the PIS quick ferry, taking advantage of the waterway, knowing fully well that Lagos State has the largest waterway in Nigeria, surrounded by water. We're going to be taking advantage of the quick ferry, introducing that to all the community, whereby from Ekpe to VI on water, you hardly spend up to 30 minutes. From CMS to VI or Lekki, you are not going to spend up to 30 minutes. From major locations where we have our PI center, you are not going to spend more than 30 minutes at the most 1 hour on waterway. That's if you are coming all the way from Badagry. But looking at if you're on the road, you can't spend less than 4 hours, 6 hours on the road getting to same location. It's tidier, it's neater, it's safer, and you will meet up with your appointment so fast, and your life become easy. So PIS came with 2-in-1 solution. One, solving the housing development of Lagos State by introducing PIS, buying your property in a sachet, paying daily or weekly, using a system to be able to pay for those property without any interest rate for a period of 7 to 8 years. Yeah, 7 to 8 years. So you're not looking at how am I going to pay in the next 2 months or in the next 1 year, in the next 6 months. You have an opportunity to pay for the next 8 years of any of these properties that you have bought with no interest rate attached. Number 2, you have opportunities to our ferry, the quick ferry community PIS that takes you from any location to the other location very fast, very easy, whereby solving the problem of traffic, meeting up with appointments. It's a fantastic concept that is going to spread across the nation. And I'm happy to let us know, before today, we already have thousands of people subscribing already for PIS. Many people are waiting today to subscribe for PIS. And as many of us that are interested, that are also in this bracket that we've mentioned, you have the opportunity today. You don't need to think of how to buy a property of 80 million. All the PIS property is less than 25 million. We have some properties that are 10 million naira. We have some properties that are 15 million naira. We have some properties that are 20 million naira in any of the locations that you choose. Our forms are available. They are online as well. You could download on our page. You could pick up the hard copies of the form. You will see all the opportunities there. And the payment structure that suits you. You want to do weekly is allowed. You want to do daily is allowed. You want to do monthly is allowed. Gradually, you will meet up with the opportunities of owning a home. One of the best things you can do for yourself, one of the best and the safest investment you can have is real estate. Especially with the state of the economy right now, with the way the economy is right now, many people are changing money, many people are sending money away. You don't need to do all of that. You don't really need to do all of that. Changing money, sending money away, it's of no use. Because those money in your account is of no use. It's of no use. The best opportunity, the best way of investing or keeping those money is to invest in real estate. Because it will never depreciate. The economy you are sending your money to, maybe in euro, in dollars, anything will happen to the economy as well. There are no permanent, stable economy. It is the people that brought about policies that changes the economy. And you are not in control of policies, not that you are in control of economy. Why can't you be in control of your life and invest rightly? Keep your money in properties. This is the season for it. Buy a house and pay within a period of 8 years. Buy a plot of land and pay within a period of 5 years. You don't need to have all the money to buy. You don't need to have all the money to pay at once. You can do it gradually. Home ownership is not a miracle. I will end with this. Home ownership, it's not a miracle. It is not something that just happened. God just did it. Yes, God did it, but you made that plan. It requires preparation. You have to be prepared to own a home. And that preparation required you taking a decision today. You taking a step. When you take a step today and you invest rightly, in the next 1 year, I remember when we were selling our Ibeju. First time we started selling Ibeju, the project was selling for 4 million naira, 3 million naira. Today, those properties are selling for 8 million plus. Look at the Ekpe. For example, when Ekpe was selling a few years ago, you could still buy a property in Ekpe for 1 million naira, 1.5. Some properties today are selling above 8 million, 6 million, 9 million in less than 1 year. So when you see all of this, what this should tell you is that the best way to start is to start now. And you don't have to have all the millions to start. Make the right decision today. Be a part of PIS. You will see PIS stand in all your locations, in all your centers. Buy for your family member, invest rightly with them. And be a part of our quick ferry, because you are going to see the ferry going on immediately from January. Be a part of quick ferry. It's going to solve the traffic congestion in Lagos as well. And be a member of our BSTAN community. We have some of our investors here and friends and partners. Become a member of the investment forum. Take a huge advantage of this. National Housefair is the 7th edition today. We have many more. Ibadan is coming up by June 1st. We have UK coming up by March. We have Abeokuta coming up. We have several National Housefair coming up next year. National Housefair is coming as well to your state. In any of the locations you want to buy, even for our friends in diaspora who had already subscribed for our project. Many people are doing that. Don't be told. Don't be left out. Join the chariots today.